Don't adjust your screen. There is nothing wrong. Yes, my image here does look rather pixelated and ugly. And the reason this is happening is because I have adjusted some of my engine scalability settings. That's going to be the topic of this video. So we're going to show you where you can find and edit some of these various engine settings. Now, what these allow us to do is adjust the quality of various features in our game in order to ensure a performant game on our target platform. As you can see in my window there, this is humming along nicely at 120 frames per second. Of course, it looks very ugly, but that's besides the point for this. All right, I'm just going to exit out of here quickly, and let's show you where you can set some of these engine scalability settings. These are set under the Settings button in your toolbar, and you've got this Engine Scalability Settings flyout menu that gives you access to some of the more common things that you can override to instantly make your game more performant or less performant depending on what you're aiming to do. Now, you've got some buttons across the top here that are going to set all of these down below to automatically be that setting. So if I click and this to be epic, it's going to jump all of my settings here to be epic. And I can, however, override this and say I want anti-aliasing to be of medium quality. I want foliage to be of medium quality, etc. And you can see how this is updating here in the background as I am doing this. Now, why would you want to make some of your settings here lower? Well, depending on your target platform, maybe you are aiming to release on mobile, you want to down res your game a little bit. Maybe you don't need to have epic foliage. If we have epic foliage in this case, we've got full foliage. However, if I was to set my engine scalability to have low foliage, watch what happens now, by the way. That is no trick. It's basically saying you don't get any foliage. So it's a quick, easy way to change the performance of your game. Now, there's an easy way to fiddle with all these different settings here and somewhat play your game. Currently, in my play menu here, I'm set to simulate mode. So I'm just going to jump in and simulate here. So I'm not actually playing the game. And if I click this possess button, I will jump into the game. And you can see I don't see any foliage. Now if I do Shift and F1, that'll give me access to my mouse here. And then I can come under Settings, Engine Scalability Settings, and set the appropriate field. So I want some foliage back, so let me have some epic foliage. And now if I right click back my viewport here, I can see I've got full foliage. Shift and F1, again, that's going to give you control of your mouse cursor again. Let me come under Settings, Engine Scalability Settings. Anti-aliasing, let's set that to low, shall we? And I'm going to set my resolution down to something like 24, and then I'm going to right click back here. Now you can see how that cube there has got some jagged edges on it due to my low anti-aliasing setting, and of course my resolution is rather low as well. Of course, the upside is I'm running at 120 frames per second, but that is a trade-off you got to live with. All right, you can also have access to some of these engine scalability settings. I'm just going to do Shift and F1. I'm talking these engine scalability settings right here through your console command line here. What do I mean by that? Well, if I was to simply hit the tilde key and type in something like r.screen percentage, that guy right there, and I set this to a value of, say, 1.0 and hit enter, oh my lord, that looks terrible, right? That is terrible resolution. Let me set this back by going tilde r.screen percentage, and this time I'll do 100. Hit enter and things are back to normal. So what kinds of console variables can you set there? Just to give you a few quick ones, there's r screen percentage, there's r.view distance scale. That is akin to our scalability settings of view distance. So that's another one. Another one is r.postprocess. Let me just bring that in. r.postprocess AA quality. This goes from a scale of 0 to 6 to set your various scalability settings. Let's see, what else have you got here? You have shadows you can try setting, and that can be done through a command of sg.shadowQuality. And if you set that between a value of 0 or 4, you will change your quality, 0 being low quality, 4 being your highest quality. These are all akin, that is, they will do the same thing as your engine scalability settings here as well. Now, if you want to have a quick cheat sheet as to all these things that you can change here in engine scalability, I'm going to point you to Unreal Engine's documentation here. If you just type in UE4 scalability settings, you'll find this particular web page, and this kind of runs through what we just talked about and some of the different command lines that you can actually put in here to change up some of your quality settings. In addition, again, don't forget these console variables and commands. I just typed in r dot here, and this gives you access to a whole lot of commands, many of which I've never ever used, but that'll give you access to some knowledge of things you can input into your console command line there. So guys, there it is. Engine scalability settings, a real quick and simple way to change the quality of your game to make it run more or less performant based on your target platform. That'll do it all for this one, guys. We will see you in the next one.